This might be a little controversial.
Talk to me. Right now, not to cut it off, I preach. Get your bodies right, man. Having that college-built body is a big thing.
Who's the best player you ever coached? And before you answer, like I see you a little uncomfortable. I like it. So,
now I'm saying, going to the senior year, I got a fake back injuries. Now I'm saying, ooh, my girl's gonna be mad at me. But
so I might sound a little biased, but the best player I've ever coached.
I don't want nobody to be laughing at my picture, man. This I look a little Trey Songz in this picture, man. But don't laugh at my picture, man. But and I'm a hell of a coach, man. Top 5.
Brad Stevens.
Top 5, maybe top 2. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to Coach B. You know what I'm saying a lot. Like, ain't too many people that I'm just gonna put past me. Shout out to Coach Trish, man, from Ponchatoula. I love her coach. I love her coach and hoop. So
I'm saying, like, you probably would have felt the same way though before you started.
Heck yeah.
Me too. And that's the thing. Like most men, boys, whatever, like feel like naturally like they can beat every girl.
Yeah. Our plan is, I'm not gonna lie, we're trying to be the best, right? So listen, LA Soul, all your dreams can come true, man. If you want to coach, if you want to play, you don't got no real restrictions.
Welcome to the Only Opinions podcast. This is the first episode. My name is Chad. This is Joe. Right? Tell the people what's up, Joe.
What's up, man? This is Coach Joe, man. Coming live from Slidell, Louisiana, baby.
Right. Live on location. Right? So basically, the reason why we call this podcast the Only Opinions podcast, and this is going to be our only disclaimer, this is our opinion. Right? It doesn't necessarily have to be fact. We don't mind having like conversations, and we're just here to stir the conversation. Right? And we're going to have guests, in the basketball world, whether it's coaches, scouting services, we're going to have players, professional players, all type of people. And we're going to be covering a few things. We're going to be covering girls basketball, especially high school, because that's our thing. We're going to be talking about some AAU basketball on the girls' side.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
So how it's going to go is we're going to ask each other some questions, and then we're just going to kind of have a conversation. So, Joe, first question, bro.
Yes, sir.
How did you get into coaching? And this 2-part question. How did you get into coaching, and what made you start coaching girls?
All right, so I got into coaching. I got my shot at Helen Cox High School, right? So coaching was never on my mind. Every kid that was a hooper, they always felt like, man, it's NBA or going overseas, this and that, right? So when I was playing basketball, always was this slim size. It's never got. But I can give you 30, right? Not gonna lie, right? So, but I always was this slim size, so it always was a disadvantage to get to where I wanted to go at. That's why now, not to cut it off, I preach. Get your bodies right, man. Having that college-built body is a big thing. But so I took the prep school route. I'm going to California. Keep trying to test out my college dreams. Then I had a little brother that was, super good. Shout out to my little brothers. Shout out to Memphis. So he was super good at basketball. So kind of knucklehead. Kind of was going off track, girls was his main focus, not basketball, but he had all the talent. So while I was in California, my mom gave me a call. It was like, look, man, either I'm going to send your brother to Mississippi to go stay with your pops, or we got to find something to do with him. So I hit up my high school coach and just hit him up like, look, man, can I come back just to help out? Just to help him out, even if 3 other coaches coaching that way, I just want to coach him. I want to make sure he's on the right path. So he let me come.
Shout out Coach Muzan.
So I was a part of the Helen Cox staff my first year. I really just worked with one player. Every time he had a little weird attitude, I made sure he, got it right. My second year, they gave me the JV squad. And from that, I found the love of basketball all over again, because I just thought if I wasn't playing basketball, I wasn't going to be around basketball. But once I started being able to give my skills to the kids and my knowledge for basketball, I'm like, all right, maybe I can do this, So that's how I jumped into the boys' world. I was with the boys for like 5-6 years. Now I jumped into the girls' world because we was with Elevate, me and Chad together.
Shout out Elevate, Coach Sky.
Shout out Coach Sky. And I was on the boys' side with that as well. But at one point, our boys' team kind of was shutting down. So when they were shutting down, the coach, hit me up like, look, do you want to coach with me on the girls' side? So in my head, hell no, man. Like, nah, I'm used to people dunking the ball. I'm used to, like the athleticism of boys. And shout out to the girls, man, because I just knew that girls can't hoop like that, man. I'm focused on this. So I went. She taught me the ropes. Like, huge shout out to you. You know who you are, right? So she taught me the ropes. I did it my first year, and from that point, I'm like, man, this is. They listen more to me. No disrespect to the boys' side, right? They listen more because they can rely on all the athleticism. So I'm like, I can. Every play I draw up, they gotta do it, right? Because they not about to say, man, scratch this play, I'm about to go dunk on somebody. No, they gotta run this play because if not, it's gonna be a struggle on offense. So it made me better my craft in that end. So to you, man. So when did you start coaching? What made you start coaching, and what made you jump to the girls' side?
No, that's an interesting story, and it's so funny. Like, my story is similar. Not necessarily like my brother was a knucklehead or anything, but just started coaching because of my little brother. So he was playing AAU for New Orleans Elite, right? Like, all them, they've been around for years, So shout out to Coach Craig, rest in peace. Um, he was coaching Cam, my little brother. Shout out to Cam. He was coaching his team, and they was playing for like 2 or 3 years, and I had just graduated high school like a year before. I was in school, but kind of stepped away from school, and so I just was like, can I be an assistant coach? I feel like I got a huge impact. I want to say that was in 5th grade. Did that for 2 years, then went back to school, so I kind of took a break. Actually started refereeing, like in college, like intramurals, but it was cool. Then left school, came back. Now my little brother's in high school, freshman at St. Aug. And so I went to pick him up one day, went in the gym, talked to Coach Mitch, who was my high school coach. Told him I was just going to be around a little bit. Then, so I'm helping out with all 3 teams, freshman, JV, and varsity. 2 months later, I basically had a huge part on the freshman team. So did that for 2 years. Then, we linked up at Elevate, started working with the boys over there, and, just kind of looked at it like I'm never going back. Yeah, like, we linked up at Elevate. We literally, funny story, like, we started working at Elevate the exact same day. Like, we both was going to do AU, remember? But we started training with Sky the exact same day. So that was crazy. So working with Sky at Elevate for like 2.5, 3 years, became full-time. And then, like, how did I get to the girls' side? So I was coaching the boys for 2 years. Then I went with, shout out to Chris Goff, the LGR guy, my guy. So me and him went to like the live period tournament in Dallas in San Antonio. And this is when he was about to start LGR. Man, this dude had me in the gym for like probably 10 hours a day. Like, all 3 of them days, I was so tired, aggravated. But I saw the most talented girls I've ever seen in my life. And I'm just like, why nobody know about this, Then we came back down here to New Orleans to go to basketball in the Bayou. Same thing, like, super talented girls. Saw all the top coaches, in the country, like Gino Auriemma, Tina Thompson. Like, all them people was in that tournament, in my city, at the tournament. And I'm just like, how do nobody know about this? So at that moment, I decided I was going to coach girls the following summer. So that was 2019 when I made that decision. Then, shout out to Chris. He asked me to come be his assistant coach at Ursuline. So I started there, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. So that's kind of how I got my start with coaching girls, man. But I just think it's funny how, like, our stories, so similar. How we got started coaching. Just because of our being a good big brother, we just got into it. Like, shout out to them knuckleheads.
Shout out to my little big brother, man.
Yeah, my little brother's still smaller than me, but he doing this thing, man. Right. Shout out to them, man. Right. So, I got another question for you, bro. This might be a little controversial.
Talk to me.
I want you to think when you coach boys and, since you've been coaching girls. And we're going to get into LA Soul, talking about LA Soul a little bit later. But but on the boy side and on the girl side, who's the best player you ever coached? And before you answer, like I see you a little uncomfortable. I like it. So before you answer, it don't have to be the most talented. It could be the player that might have made the biggest difference in your life, or you feel like you made the biggest difference in their life. But at the end of the day, still, complete.
So the boy side. I really want to say Alizé, right? Alizé Johnson, right? He probably was the most talented kid I coached, and I watched his journey, right? So when we got him, shout out to Coach Cheese, man. That's my guy. I love you, bro. So when we got him,
gotta get him on the show.
Yeah, big facts. He doing big things at Eric, man. So yeah, when we got him his freshman year, nobody didn't think he was gonna be what he was gonna be, right? But the hard work, man, with so many hours in the gym that kid stayed at, couldn't throw a rock in the ocean, right? But by the time junior, senior year, making 4 or 5 threes a game, his just determination was crazy. Like he always was kind of like a hard working kid, but to see him go from, I'm a 2K guy, right? So to see him go from overall 75 to overall 93, 94, like it was a huge jump, and to be a part of that journey was a huge jump. I remember one-on-ones, it went from me beating him 10-0 to, going to the senior year, I got a fake back injuries, being up 8-5, like, so, yeah, so he probably was the best on the boy side. My girl side, my girl's gonna be mad at me, but,
we love them all.
Yeah, just from a hard-working person, just from, like, once you mix all that in, probably Kyra Bradley, right? Kyra. Yeah, that's my girl, man. So Kyra she was always the person that people look like, yeah, you're not about to make it this way. You're not about to do this. You're not about to do that. You're not about to score 1,000 points in high school because you're not a score. Like, so it was always that, and for her to surpass all of those things, and as a coach, her sophomore year, she got her first D1 offer. You know what I mean? So, like, that was a big moment in our lives. So, yeah, on the girl side, yeah, probably Kyra Bradley. But talent-wise, man, we were so talented. Like, with Tajay, Mayan, like, all those kids are crazy talent. But just putting it all together, I say Kyra Bradley. So, on your end, who the most talented kid or the best kid you ever coached on the boy side and the girl side?
So I might sound a little biased, but my little brother was pretty good. He was short. He's short, so it's like, but he's not my answer. But like, that little dude tough. Like, he was just tough. But
Jet life, baby.
shout out to Cam Snap. We gonna get a commercial. We gonna get him to sponsor us. But a kid named, you might not know him, his name Jameer, right? Matter of fact, Zoe on our team, her big brother.
All right.
So, man, like, he wasn't necessarily the most talented. He was overlooked. He was short. He had a growth spurt like senior year. And when I coached him, because I was only at St. Aug for 2 years, I coached him for 1, but I was around for a few years after. Like, the dude just got it. Like, he just played hard, and it was hard to take him off the floor. Like, he just always seemed to be making the right plays, being in the right spot. He was a point guard, like a backup point guard. So as a coach, you want your point guard to see the game how you see the game. And he was that kid. Like I said, not the most talented, but worked hard and got better every single day. So, and we still cool to this day. So shout out to Jameer, man. On the girl side, the best player I've ever coached.
You're going to say T. I know it's T.
Tyrell? Yes.
I know you're
Tyrell Williams. Yeah. Like, that kid. So I didn't know much about her before I started coaching her at Ursuline. But man, like, when I first got there, she was injured. So, like, we still had Tootie, on the team, and Tootie, post player. So she was kind of putting us on her back, but we were struggling. And I'm like, man, it's gonna be a rough year. And Coach Goff was like, trust me, like, we're gonna be fine when Tyrell come on the court. I'm like, oh, all right, bro, like, whatever. I'm like, she just, tore ACL or meniscus or something, some of her knee. Like, you think she gonna be ready? He was like, trust me. He was like, she gonna take like 20 shots a game. I'm like,
And,
All right.
And do.
So first game we played in the University Lab tournament. I'll never forget this. We played St. Louis. This was her junior year, and they had they still had your girl Paris, right?
Yeah.
And the other girl, the other kid, what's her name? Yes.
She a beast. Man.
Yeah. So they had them. They was the ones, both of them. So Tariel, her first game of the season, came literally almost brought us to beat them. St. Louis was a Final Four team that year. Like I think matter of fact, they lost in the championship to Lee at the time.
Mm-hmm. That was Boosie's daughter.
No. Yeah.
Boosie,
she was on the team.
Yep.
Shout out to Boosie, man. So man, she almost brought us back. We lost by 4, but that showed me I'm like, all right, this kid can play. So then the following year, and she was the one always in the gym, she would train with Paulo. Shout out to Paulo. And then when we'll do skill work at practice, she was such a learner. And it's like, she the type of kid, she will literally challenge you. And it's not no disrespectful stuff. It's like, no, coach, when they do this, this probably will work better. And she was that type of kid. In her senior year, I'm not gonna lie, she literally put us on her back. Led us to over 20 wins, almost brought us to the championship. Would take ridiculous shots and make them, so just that type of kid that literally could, a program changer, and shout out, and she wound up going to, South Alabama, this year, had a horrific injury to her ACL, but she's the type of kid that she's going to be successful no matter what she do, man. I think she's there for nursing or maybe doctor or something like that. But she's a tough kid. She gonna make it through whatever, So shout out to Tyrell.
Yes,
shout out to all of the kids that we coach, man.
Yes,
we definitely with LA Soul, man, and just coaching on the side, we've come across a lot of great kids. Speaking of LA Soul, man, how did you you started LA Soul? You and Coach Des, shout out to Coach Des, man.
Shout out to my girl.
She gonna definitely be on the show. But how did y'all start it?
So before we even go
wait,
to that
I'm sorry. Before you even get into it, how did you start it? Did you even know much about coaching girls or anything about girls getting scholarships, anything?
All right. So before we start, I don't want nobody to be laughing at my picture, man. Just I look a little Trey Songz in this picture, man. But don't laugh at my picture, man. But
Trigger.
So coaching girls, like I said, the first year I did it, it just was I don't know, the attitude. Don't get me wrong, girls have crazy attitudes, right? But it just wasn't. They ain't always have their chests out you. If I tell them something, it's not man, you gonna go to the back and fight type ordeal.
Yeah.
With the boys side, you gotta really. Come on, man. I'm 170 pounds, man. So I ain't about to be out here wrestling with no, guys. So with that relief, it was all right, man. It's way easier.
You can just coach.
Yeah, you really can just coach on that, and I'm a hell of a coach, man. Top 5.
Brad Stevens.
Top 5, maybe top 2. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to Coach B. You know what I'm saying? Saying Amont. It ain't too many people that I'm just gonna put past me. Shout out to Coach Trish, man, from Ponchatoula, man. I love her coaching. Love her coaching.
Man, they beat us by 40, bro.
Yeah, we ain't gonna count it. But so yeah, it brought me into the book of, all right, man, I really can see my coaching through this. It's not just me sitting back or me just yelling out some stuff to the boys side. I really can see my coaching. So, and yes, I'm not a fool. So I knew, scholarships on both ends. I really didn't know this though. And I still fuss with my guy, which I'm gonna have him on here pretty soon. Coach Jason from Livingston. I didn't think that a talented girl can really match up with a average boy. You know what I'm saying? Because we still got this fuss. He got his best player, and I'm man, I can put some money that Michaela Williams one-on-one. She can beat your best. Hell no, man. He's a man. I'm listen, dog. Until you in that light, you'll be all right, man, it can happen. No, it's totally different. These girls really can hoop. So
I'm saying, you probably would have felt the same way though before you started.
Heck yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Most men, boys, whatever, feel naturally they can
Yeah.
beat every girl.
Yeah.
And it's not like, unfortunately, it's kind of sexist. And I didn't start looking at it like that until I started coaching girls. Like, no, they put in work. Because even when we was at Elevate, the boys and the girls would train together. And some of the girls will beat the boys. Like,
that was a huge thing. But what made me come up, put together LA Soul. So once I did the first year with the coaching in their group, my kids kind of was, which I apologize for, but my kids was kind of in my ear like, look, coach, we want to go somewhere else, this, and that. And I was hearing stuff like, all right, boom, well, we're going to take this girl and that girl, but we're not going to worry about this girl and that. So I'm like, no, man, this is a good enough group that I want to keep them all together as much as, like, and they...
Whoever want to be there.
So it worked out for the best, like, because I started off that first year thinking in my head, we're going to have 7 kids, because that's the 7 kids that came with me. Man, by the time we started our first game, we had like 15 kids on on our team. Like, so that was huge. They was the backbone for everything, but that just made me like, I want to keep going with it because we could have been a one and done type of team, you know what I'm saying? Or we could have been a program that just had one team. Like, so yeah, I would have had them for 2 or 3 years, but it just would have been one team. So in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm just preparing, for them from the 10th grade year to the senior year to, play for LA Soul. After that, we'll see where it goes. Yeah. But the buzz we was getting was, ridiculous. Like, moving into the Slidell area, so many people was, hey, coach, let's make a 9th grade team. Let's make a 10th grade team. Let's make that team. So I'm like, all right, we're going to see how it goes. So tryout came. We had 70 kids at tryouts, trying, like, I want to be on the team. And our first year that we really expanded, it was really like, all right, man, whoever come out, dog, they showing love to us. I was just so excited that, they wanted to be a part of a program that we started. So, like, all y'all long, everybody, if you come to tryouts, I think you maybe cut, I ain't going to say a name. I hope, they might not watch it. But we probably cut 1 or 2 kids max out that whole lineup.
Some people just didn't want to do it or whatever.
Yeah,
but we didn't just cut them.
Yeah, so, so that what made the LA Soul really come apart, like, because I just didn't want to say, all right, y'all two go play for this good organization. So it was a good team, right? But I just didn't want to take our best 2 players, which at the time to me was Mayan and Kyra. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to take our best 2 players and let them go play over there, then let Jersey and Broward go over here. Because I'm like, if you keep that team together, it can be something special. Which, man, we played like it for all out 3 years together. We played like, all right, we just stay together. It's going to be a special group, which everybody really about to go to college and play college basketball. So shout out to Chris that's going to play volleyball, though, like huge pickup.
That's why we do it, man.
Yeah, but yeah, and at this point, I think we got kind of like a household name. We might not be as big as the top dogs, but man, they put in so much work to become the top dogs. So shout out to United, shout out to Lake City Pride. Shout out to Kenny Angels. Shout out to I hope I ain't missing nobody. If I'm missing somebody, I'm so sorry. But shout out to all those groups that y'all keep making a great example for us. And as long as y'all keep going higher and higher, we're gonna kind of follow behind because our plan is, I'm not gonna lie, we're trying to be the best, right? So we're not close, right? So as y'all go up, we're coming right behind y'all. So just know we're on y'all back. So don't slow up. And that's great for Louisiana basketball.
Exactly.
Right? Just don't slow up, because we there.
And one thing I learned about, this AAU game, on the girl side, because, like, I was on the boys side for a while, even, like, when we did Elevate, but even when I was helping, like I said earlier with New Orleans Elite, just see, like, the shystiness and, people feel like if I got my son good or I got this kid, I'm going to start me an AAU program. Yeah. Don't really know nothing. We go out of town, just go out of town. But the thing that I like about what you did and what we do is, like, the first year, yeah, you might not have knew everything, but you looked at what other people was doing. Yep. And like, man, we going up. Yep. Okay, that's what I'm going to be going up. And the thing that I learned, shout out to Coach Sky, man. Like, he's probably one of the biggest basketball influences on me.
That's my mentor.
But yeah, man, like, the biggest thing I learned from Coach Sky is, like, it don't make sense to bring him out of town if it's not for, like, a chance to play in front of college coaches. So I know you said the first year y'all went out of town. It wasn't necessarily for a live period, but then when we put our heads together, I mean, it's like that's all we do now. And we still get plenty of trips. What, like three? We going out of town. What, 3 times? Like 4 times? Yeah, like we come Shreveport or Bossier. But like, nah, man, I just like where we at, man.
And that's the biggest thing was my first year. I kind of, which was stupid, right? I kind of did it on my own, right? So I kind of just was looking at, searching different websites where they plan a tournament, where they got a tournament. I wasted so much money going to Tennessee one time, man. It was so ridiculous. Like, we was playing against kids with their practice jerseys still, like, but it made sense for them, right? Because they were from Tennessee, so they literally were coming from 5 minutes away.
While sleeping at home.
Yeah, so while we were traveling, and we didn't spend so much money, and that put us in a jam for the rest of our year. So, now bringing Coach Shad along. Shout out to Coach Fallon. Shout out to Coach Dell. Coach Golf. So I sent him our schedule. Like, look, man, do this make sense for us to go? Shout out to my guy, Coach Matt, man, because I don't think I ever gave him a shout out. Shout out to my guy, Coach Matt. So yeah, I always just hit them up. Look, man, do this tournament make sense to go? Like, me jumping into the game. I know on the boys' side, Vegas, California, those are the big. On the girls' side, it's just not. So I'm looking for Vegas tournaments, and they're like, man, that's a waste of time. Like, so even with Coach Shad coming in, like helping with the schedule, it was like, all right, bro, do we want to go on a fun trip, or do we want to go on a trip that's going to get them, looks and scholarship offers? So that was a huge, jump in our program once we decided, all right, we're going on live period tournaments, and kind of that's it. Anything else we'll do United tournaments, we'll do LGR tournaments, kind of Angel tournaments. Yeah, like, so that's, I'm not about to go to Texas to do a tournament that nobody's going to be there at, right? So I'd rather just show the love to my home city and, go with that move.
Right, and it just don't make sense financially, to go out there. Like, I love Houston, but it don't make sense to just go to Houston just on a regular weekend, just to play a tournament, just to say we in Houston. It's right. Like, yeah, it might look cool, but at the end of the day, it's not getting no kid noticed. It's not getting nobody an opportunity to get a scholarship. And at the end of the day, the only reason I do this is to help kids get a scholarship and to make them better people. Like, to me, there's no other reason to do that. I'm not looking for no college coaching job. Like, I'm good, as far as coaching. Like, I'm here, so I'm not trying to go no further with this thing. I'm just trying to grow this as big as we can. So it's like, when you asked me to come aboard, it was damn near a no-brainer for me, like, because I was not going to coach AAU no more. Like, I was trying to stop coaching basketball, period, because my mind was other places. I thought I was going to do something else, but, like, definitely somebody, like, I want to be a part of something where, one, like, I have some level of control, when it comes to my team. Nobody on my back and stuff like that. And, it's somebody who I believe in their vision. And, definitely, like, we got the same vision when it comes to this thing. So it was a no-brainer for me to come over here. And I'm locked in.
Listen, LA Soul, all your dreams can come true, man. If you want to coach, if you want to play, you don't got no real restrictions, man. Like, and I feel like that about a lot of other programs, right? It's like, whatever makes sense, like, for the program, the better the program, everybody go with that move. But
yeah, whatever makes sense for that kid, like, because we've told kids sometimes, like, it might make sense for you to go to this team. Like,
and people don't, it's the crazy part, right? People don't believe this, right? So, boom, I hope we don't get sued for keep saying United name, right? But for a Louisiana United, right? If you just this pure dog that can, you're going to see 12 other girls that's just as much of a dog as you, right, on that court. If you can handle that pressure of either I'm going to perform or we about to go to the next dog that's on our bench, then, hey, that might be the spot for you, right?
This year.
Yeah,
no shade to them, but
yeah, like, so that might be a spot for you to be like, all right, dog, I'm built for this, right? And not saying that you are a weak player or you are you're not on their level if you don't go there, right? Because at our spot, to me, Shout out to my girl Riri. We got one of the best.
Spencer.
We got one of the best 2025s in the whole state. Shout out to Alyssa too, man. I love Alyssa game, man. Shout out to Alyssa, one of our newcomers. So yeah, we got one of the best 2025s in the state. She could have played for anywhere. Like if she would have played for the United, like she could have went anywhere. But for her to trust in us and put her talent in our hands and it's blossoming with all the interest she getting, with all the the offers she get, like it's I don't know. She was definitely a person that makes more kids want to come along and be like, all right, I take that path because with her, you mess up a couple times, it's and keep balling. You know what I mean? Like we keep going with the move, like, and I feel like a lot of kids need that. But if you just tapped in to where it's like because United is such a college type program, like because when you go to college, man, from 1 to 12 on your bench, people can hoop. Like it's a reason why we're here. Like so, yeah, if you built for that, but you can go anywhere, man. I'm all for you, man. I'm supporting you. It's all love this week. Like,
and it's no issue. Like we're not gonna treat you different. If you leave, because if you was a part, like this is beyond basketball with me. Like if you was a part of my life, and nothing happened, like where we got beef or anything, like I didn't do you wrong, you didn't do me wrong, then whether you want to be around or not, I'm still gonna have love for you. Right. So it's like at the end of the day, we only got if we only can have 50 kids, but we got relationships with 200 kids, then we would be doing a disservice to try to keep all of them kids. Right. So it's all love, no matter matter where they at. Right. But I do want to give a shout out to a kid, man, that I feel so bad about not mentioning. My is damn near my kid, Yanni, bro. Ayana Fleming, shout out to Yanni, man. Like that's a kid who she really only played 1 year of high school, 1 full year of high school basketball. Because her freshman year she transferred from a public school, which I hate that rule. Well, you got to sit out. If you go from public school to private school and it's not in your area or something, I don't even know the rule, but I hate it. Whatever the rule is, I hate it because kids just be just having to sit out. Like middle schools, if you go to public school, it go to 8th grade. All right. But the Catholic schools, they start 8 to 12, so it don't make sense. Like
so they kind of her coming from what she was at Liberty. It was Liberty.
Marrero Middle. So she went from Marrero Middle as an 8th grader to go to Ursuline in 9th grade and had to sit out. Her and Sophia.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So I didn't understand that rule, but going into 10th grade, she got hurt. So the first official practice of 10th grade, she re-aggravated her meniscus, out for the season. So that's supposed to be her first year of high school basketball. Next year, junior year, it's her first year of high school basketball. Like she played AAU and stuff, but high school basketball. She played that year, played amazing. Metro, all district, all kind of accolades. And then her senior year, they get a new coach. Shout out to Coach T. And she's kind of, she's going through the season, find out she tears her ACL. Luckily for her, she already signed with Chipola, right? Shout out to Chipola. That's where she's going. But she already signed the scholarship, so thank God that, she was able to do that. But Yanni's just a great kid, man. Like, we've both been knowing Yanni for, a long period of time.
Yanni twisted my hair.
I was about to say, Yanni twisted your hair.
Yes, indeed.
She's just a great kid to be around.
If y'all need y'all hair twisted, man, go to Yanni, man. Yanni, great prices, man. Great prices.
Hey, we're gonna need...
We need an NIL deal, man.
Right.
Great
right.
prices.
So, shout out to Yanni, man. I just wanted to say that, but, ever since I've been on this side, man, like, it's just... I don't see myself going back. I don't see myself going back to the boys side. We work with Coach Sky, and we coach the league, where we do coach boys. And it's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's like I joined the girls side just because I know that I can grow women's basketball. And speaking of women's basketball, man, we're in Louisiana. Right? Shout out to LSU, man. Like, what you think about LSU season so far?
I'm gonna be real. It's a great season, right? So people get on LSU about the schedule that they made, this, and that. Like, but I feel like tomorrow, well, whenever we drop this, so tomorrow might be.
So we're filming this on February 11th, which is the day before the game. So we have not seen the game yet.
So I feel like it's gonna kind of be like they can shut up all the people that thought their schedule was weak. That this is like they're undefeated and they still got them a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament right now. So I don't know. That's just a huge like you gotta play what's on your schedule. Even though they made the schedule or not, but I feel like with LSU, they got a superstar in Angel.
Shout out Angel Reese. We gotta get Angel. We gotta get Flagey on the show, man.
Yeah, so Flagey is wonderful.
And she
Alexis,
be spitting too.
Alexis,
yeah,
I love her as a point guard. Like so,
she a bucket.
I like LSU. I got LSU, and I'm not even gonna call it an upset. Like a lot of people saying, I got LSU tomorrow with a 10-point win.
It is out there. It's out there in
Yeah,
South Carolina.
man.
So they going on. So you saying
We
they going
built
on
like
the road?
that. We built like that, man.
Louisiana tough.
We built like that. Like
Shout out
Kim is. Listen, the other day, right? I was coaching. You know, my whole time I always joke that I'm the Brad Stevens. So when I was at an LGR tournament recently, coaching middle school kids, I was like, man, I'm the new Kim at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so when Louisiana, you got a huge influence. So I know. Hopefully you watch it. If you do watch it, shout out to you, Kim.
We gonna send it to her.
Gotcha.
So
shout out to Coach D, man. Shout out Coach D. Treat us right, man. At LSU.
One thing about Kim Mulkey, I don't know if you noticed, she's been a part of every single, except two. I think I'm gonna verify, but except two, she's been a part of every single college NCAA tournament on the girls' side, except two.
Oh, that's crazy.
As a player or coach.
That's crazy. That's good coaching, man. That's
like,
good coaching.
Because she went and she shout out Louisiana basketball. She went to La Tech, So Kim, she could have stayed at Baylor, bro, and retired and rode off into the sunset. But she decided to come back to. She decided to come home and make it. Come back home and make it her thing. So shout out to Kim Mulkey, man. But let's go back to high school basketball, bro. Like who like we cool with Chris Goff, but like we have our own opinions, obviously. Who do you think in the senior class right now? What's that? 2023. Who do you think is like the top 2 or 3 players?
Throw Michaela off the board, right? Because that's a given. So Michaela, if you listen to this, you're just you off the board, like
Michael Jordan, you stand alone.
You off the board. My favorite, I love Krista Narcisse from Lafayette.
Yeah,
shout out to her pops, man. Good.
Yeah, Krista, the GOAT.
He one of the most solid. That's a word. Solid is. Gotta be a word.
Yeah, we can make our own word.
Man, that guy's so solid, man. Like always calling me about, look, man, make sure this kid get an ACT right. Look, man, I heard Loyola's doing this, so you might want to do it at an open gym with that. Like, and he ain't have to do it. Krista never played a day in her life for me. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to him, man. A solid guy. So I'm gonna say Krista. I can't hate on Paris, man. Paris is a pure hooper. Like Paris, the dog in her is like her competitive instincts. You really can put her up there. If you saying competitiveness wise, her and Michaela, just competitiveness, they right there with each other. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like Paris ever step on the court and be like, oh man, I'm going against Michaela, man. It's about to be a long. Matter of fact, I witnessed them play at the LGR tournament last year. Went head to head. Both of them guarding each other full court. You know what I mean? Like, I think Michaela wound up getting the victory, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, Paris is tough. And the 3. And at this point, I'm damn near copying off LGR page because I love Jazz game. Like I love her versatility. Like she can be a point guard one day if she wants. She can be your 5. She can be your 4. She can. Everybody always say, well,
she on the UL, right?
Yeah, they always ask, I don't know how she's going to translate to the next level, this and that. Like,
that kid going to be fine.
She's a bucket. Like, so whoever got to guard her, so if it was a big guard, her, she's going to have that advantage. Like, she's not about to let a big just be killing her on the, so I really love her game, honestly. So that'll be, once you throw Michaela off the board, that'll be my top 3. So, golf, You did right by that one, man.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Like, I've been knowing Paris, for some years, since she was in 8th grade. Shout out to Coach Cahey, man, with Lake City Pride, man. It's my guy Terrence.
Facts.
He does a great job, and she's a great kid, like great family, so she's the type of kid, another one that's gonna be fine, like no matter what she decides to do. But basketball, she got a future in basketball. But that kid's special. And like since we talking about that class, we can't not talk about Michaela. Like Michaela is so good, man. Like
Michaela, I just put $100 on you that you can beat this kid from Livingston in a one-on-one. Jay might be 6'2", 6'3". I just put 100 on you that you can beat this kid one-on-one. Like I say, the score will be like 10-6, and I'm giving him 6. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say you miss a few easy shots that you normally make, but
from nervous or something.
Yeah, no, her skill set is ridiculous, man. Like she technically in Louisiana, that's why her game is just so crazy. She's supposed to be in a post. Like most girls that size, like they in a post. Man, this girl, I saw her do. Rest in peace to my guy, man, Kobe Bryant. In the semifinals last year, she did a fadeaway baseline, man, resemblance of Kobe Bryant to the fullest. Like so, nah, she tough. Like if I play a one-on-one, I'm gonna have to put my knee brace on and my back brace. And, like now she
stretch for 30 minutes.
Yeah, now she's a hooper. Now this the thing I see, and that's why we call it just opinions.
Only opinions.
Yep. Only opinions, right? So I feel like Michaela is low key. I don't want to use the word bored with but it's like
I can see that.
I feel like she's gone through the most, because it's like at this point, she don't need to drop 30, 40, because I've been seeing people, 40 here, 40 there, 40. You never really hear from Michaela, but it's like, because it's...
Well, the thing about them, like, her coach, they played a national schedule this year. So, like, she's going against other top teams, other top kids.
True.
So it's like, if you're not about to bust everybody ass if you playing against the best teams. You're not about to just give everybody 40.
Yeah, but I'm saying her Louisiana schedule, so I'm not counting the Juju games.
Yeah.
And heck yeah, you got her Louisiana schedule. For the most part,
they might. I don't even know.
I think they 24-1 maybe. 20.
I don't even know. I don't think they play that many games in Louisiana, like against Louisiana teams.
Yeah.
Because I know with the playoffs, you got to play at least, I think it's 15 games.
Or to be considered for the
to go to playoffs. Yeah, like against the same state.
Yeah. So yeah, I just I feel like in the playoffs she about to turn up. So I got, besides Ponchatoula. You hear me? Shout out to my Ponchatoula.
Yeah, I'm so sorry last year, Ponchatoula.
Yeah, I don't go against my Ponchatoula.
They came on my hat for, it's only opinions, but I didn't even say nothing crazy. I just said, wow, I'm shocked that they won.
That's crazy, right, you guys? Like, I'm shocked that you won. That's like, I didn't expect you to win.
I didn't expect them to win.
All right, so that's crazy. But they're like, why would you? I felt like last year with Jay Lee. Jay Lee is such a hooper, man. Shout out to Jay Lee. She just, I think,
get well soon.
She tore ACL. Jay Lee's such a hooper that it was a superstar versus a superstar to me last year. So it balanced it off, because the shot she hit, man, was heard around the whole state, man. Like I think I almost flipped off my seat because I was at the game. I got a cheer for my Ponchatoula girls.
Who you gonna give them a shout out?
Amaya, Lily, Alyssa, hey Taylor. That's my dog. Rock with T. Morgan, my dog Morgan got back too this year, man.
She LSO. So yeah, shout out to them, man. Like, they when I commented on the LGR page. All I said was I'm shocked. I wasn't expecting that result. They took it personal. Which shout out to them. They won. Cool. I love them as well. Shout out to Tiff, man.
That's my girl. That's my assistant coach this year, man. That's breaking news. That's my assistant coach, Coach Tiff, man.
There you go. Shout out to Tiff, man.
Yeah,
great person.
So, yeah, I think playoffs wise, right? Besides,
now we're about to get into that, but all right.
Jump straight into it then. So besides Ponchatoula in that class, right?
Well, let me pull it up so we can see what, because they might not meet in the championship. So what that's Division 1, right?
Yeah, non-select, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's go to that. All right, so Ponchatoula is number 6.
Yeah.
Parkway is number 2.
Yeah. So
Walker number 1.
Walker's tough, man. Corey, I'm gonna say it on here.
You said that's your best?
That's the best coach. He be acting stingy with the plays, though, man. But that's the best coach to me. Just opinions in Louisiana basketball right now. Like besides Kim, because look, I'm going way up. I'm going.
That's
way
the only
up.
person on his
Listen,
level.
Besides Kim, Corey is there, man. Like
He got a great program.
Well, he's back-to-back number 1 seeds, right? In 5A, because last year they was number 1 seed, right?
I'm not sure. They made Final Four, so
no, I think they was number 1 seed last year, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken,
they lost to Parkway, right?
No, they lost to Ponchatoula.
Ponchatoula.
Lafayette lost to Parkway.
Everybody was predicting that Walker and Parkway was going to be in the championship.
Yeah. But no, man. Shout out to Coach Corey.
Corey Arnold.
Yeah. So I got Parkway. If Ponchatoula don't win it, I got Parkway.
So win the championship. So let me. So all right. So as of now, Ponchatoula, they would play it would be final 8, 1-8. So it would be they would play Barb in the quarterfinals.
Michaela Manley, she's tough. She's tough.
So she's probably number 4 on my list, or number 5 on my list of that class. She's tough.
Yeah, I like Michaela.
So Barb, people saying that was a bad move. Then you got Zachary, number 4, in Denham Springs.
Hey, that coach might be 2 or 3.
Zachary?
She's such a great. I like her coaching.
Yeah,
I like her coaching.
5 ain't got them coaches. I ain't gonna lie.
I like her coaching.
So if everything goes according to plan, so Ponchatoula will play Barb in the quarterfinals.
I got Tula.
Of course. Then so let's say the top 4 seeds, 1, 2, and 4 make it, and Ponchatoula upset Barb. So it would be Walker versus Zachary, Parkway versus Ponchatoula. Who you going with?
Walker versus Zachary. Walker.
You got Walker? Okay.
I'm going to give Walker the nod.
So the rematch of the championship would be in the Final 4, semifinals. Who you going with? You going to be a homer, or you going with Michaela?
I'm not disrespecting Amaya and them, man. What's wrong with dude, man?
I said home. That's home.
Listen, I don't even know why you asked me. I'm going with Ponchatoula, right? But I really feel like it's going to change, in my opinion, because the seeding. Because Ponchatoula won district, so they got to add them a whole extra point. I don't think they added a point yet, because they didn't technically announce.
So what about Denham Springs?
So they're gonna, because Denham Springs is lost by 100 points to Walker, right? So
Walker won that district.
Yeah. So they're gonna. I think Tula's gonna jump Denham Springs. I feel like that's gonna be a.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that means. Hold on, let me look at it again. So that means Ponchatoula will play Zachary in the quarterfinals. So you got Tula against Zachary.
I got Tula.
So that means
my fault, Alyssa. I rock with Alyssa, man. But my fault. Shout out to T. Shout out to Sierra, man. I rock with Tula.
So that means the quarterfinals. So the semifinals would be Walker and Ponchatoula. So you going Ponchatoula over Walker? You just shouted out Corey. That's gonna be tough.
I like the dramatic stuff. Hell yeah, I'm going with Ponchatoula, man. I can't.
So do you got Ponchatoula win it all?
I got to go to the. I said if Ponchatoula don't win it all, then Parkway. So it could be a real rematch of.
So it's gonna be a rematch of last year.
Yeah, and obviously if Ponchatoula don't win it, then Parkway gonna win. So
all right, they go to the championship. Who's winning?
Ponchatoula. But if they don't win it, then Parkway gonna win.
If they play each other in the championship, of course.
Listen. I shouted out before. Shout out to Alyssa. I think it's gonna be probably.
What's our last name, bro?
Hilliard, right? So
shout out Alyssa Hilliard.
I feel like it's gonna be her toughest matchup. If she got to go out with Michaela, but I feel like she's up for the challenge, right? So Michaela usually average 40. She's gonna give her 25, right? But it's gonna be a hard working 25 points. Like that kid, man. Like to me, right? It's my girl. Love you.
Who? Alyssa?
Shakai.
Shakai?
She did such a great job on Shakai that it made me. I had to text one of my kids, Cherie, like, "Hey, we're gonna have a crazy backcourt front court for our AAU.
That's backcourt.
Backcourt.
Yeah.
Stupid. So we're gonna have a crazy backcourt for our AAU this season.
2025, man.
Man, like
People saying that class is like weak.
no, man, Coach Golf Talk. Coach Golf Talk. That's the deepest class.
I agree.
Right
I
now.
agree.
Like that's the deepest class because I think Cherie was number 6 at the
6 or
the
7.
last one,
Yeah.
right? So, I would be shocked if she's not top 3, top 4 on the updated one. But yeah, man, that class is so deep. Like, it's crazy deep. Like, so.
Yeah.
But shout out to Ponchatoula winning the 5 league championship. Man.
Right,
Shout out. Can I say my upset? My sleeper.
Hold on. Which class?
5
So, Division 1?
Non-select.
All
My
right.
My sleeper to make it to the quarterfinals or the semifinals. Sleeper, right? I don't got no ties with them, so I don't want nobody to be like, oh, you just cool with them girls. Show man high, baby. Shout out to
You don't got no ties.
Shout out to Jersey, Brawler, Chris, Macy, you know what I'm saying? LA Soul for life, you know.
So right now they number 10.
10.
So that means they will play Natchitoches Central in the second round. Round of what? 32? No, first round. No,
it'll be
second round, round of 16. And then, so let's say they beat them, so they will play Parkway. So you think they're going to beat Parkway? So that would be, what, quarterfinals? So you said they'll make to the quarterfinals?
Yeah.
So they're going to beat Parkway?
All right, I'm going to say this, right? If they do beat Parkway, right, I'm not saying, obviously, yeah, Parkway supposed to win that game. But if they do beat Parkway.
They going all the way?
No, I ain't even saying that. I just wouldn't be sitting here like, oh my God, I cannot believe y'all beat Parkway. Like, from a 1 through 4.
Terran back over there?
No, unfortunately. If Terran was over there, I had him beating Parkway. I swear to God. So Terran just makes that much of a difference. Like, Terran is she was number 1 in her class, right? Number 2. Number 2. Jada and her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So I like how Shomek and match up. I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Shout out to Chris. I love Chris defense.
So shout out to Chris, Jersey, Brawler,
and Macy.
LA
I don't know him like that, but shout out
he's
to
lying.
Shout out to y'all.
Jersey is his child.
Yeah, shout out to y'all, man.
But all right, cool. So